everyone, today I'm creating 24 cards using the Call Me Crafty L Sheetloader card template for May 2026. I am part of the creative team, so you'll find a link below to a playlist and the details of where you can get the sketch. All of the creative team members create completely different projects, so it's always worth checking them out. I'm using a mixed lot here of Paper Rose papers. They came in a bundled pack as part of some clearance where they were getting rid of some of the misprints and odds and ends. So I like using them in projects because if you have leftovers from different paper packs and paper pads, it might give you some inspiration on just grabbing all of your leftovers and creating a really fun project. Now, you saw that I went through with my scoreboard and I scored these little cards at, I think it was 3 3/4. And basically I'm making some mini cards. So if it was a vertical A2 card, it is a little bit shorter. And that's because as part of the sketch today, we are going to put something at the top to make it a bit of a fun fold with a topper on it. I'm not sure if there's a specific term, but it is an unusual shaped card this month. Now I'm just running through here and I'm grabbing whatever pattern paper there is, and I didn't try and match everything up beforehand. I just grabbed the next piece, figured out which side I could make work, and then I ran through and I cut it down to the 4 inches, and then I cut the little 1 3/4 inch strip, and then I cut out the 3.5 by 4 inch strip also. There was a few papers in there that I will admit I did skip over, but they were just impossible to use for this style of project. Either they were a full design that when it was cut up it would look unusual, or they were like a scene. There was some of them where I had a full scene of the Australian outback. Now I'm running through here with my ATG and I'm just doing a quick ATG around the edge of each of these. I always do my cards bulk style, so I try and fit as many as I can on my desk, and then I attach them to the little mini cards. After I'd run through and done all of the mini cards, and you can see here I'm kind of trying to line it up so I get a nice little consistent white border around the edge. I then started to think about what am I going to do for the topper component. So this sketch has the card that I'm doing here, a little strip that will go through the middle, and then the topper component is probably the trickiest part. In the actual design of the sketch, it has a circle. And so today I do some with a rectangle and some with a circle. And that was really just because I decided to use what I had in my stash. And I had a couple of happy birthday little cardstock things that I'd stamped on, and I thought I will use those up. This will be the perfect project. And then I did go and cut out some backing circles out of white cardstock, and then I had some pattern paper circles in my stash that I decided to just match up to these pattern papers. In terms of the strip that's going to go through the middle, I am backing it here on white paper or white cardstock. I think this is more like heavy paper, like it's not copy paper, it's thicker than that, but it's also not as heavy as cardstock that I would make a card base out of, which makes it a good kind of happy medium for me. I really like the fact that it gives a little bit of strength, but it doesn't have the same thickness as if I'm loading cardstock up on top of each other. Now I've skipped forward here and I have all of them not only stuck to the paper but also trimmed out. And this is sometimes the tricky bit. I'm using all kinds of different pattern papers, and this is 4 speed of me trying to work out which papers are going to go with which. Now the thing that did help me is there are a few of them that were a little bit Christmassy, so they were the red and the dark green, and then some that had some Christmas flowers on them. So I was able to mix and match those a little bit. And then you can see I've got a few on here that are sort of floral pink style papers, and I was able to mix a few of those together. When I got to the end, it was a little tricky, and there was a couple of cards where I probably wasn't completely sure with the design, but I decided to just go with it and see if I could tie the papers together by doing an interesting topper. You can see on the left-hand side as well, some of the papers that I've used today are like really bright metallic gold, and so they do reflect sometimes in the camera, and they are not the type of papers that I would pick normally, but with this kind of sketch you do cover up quite a bit of the pattern paper, so it will make a really bold pattern seem a little bit more subtle. So if you have really busy papers that you are not sure how to use, this might be a good sketch. This is the happy birthdays I mentioned earlier, and I have gone through and matted them on a combination of dark blue, black, and dark brown. And I did not work that out beforehand. I just did a few of each, and then I thought I will pick some of the papers on the left-hand side where, a darker blue would match, or a brown or a black. And because of the different mix of papers, I was able to find the right backing area to put the birthday. So this worked out really nicely. It's a little shorter than the actual card sketch was intended to be. And if you look at the card I'm working on here, it is a very short A2. So this is 4¼ inches wide and then 4 inches tall. And so actually 3 3/4 tall, I think. I'm not sure. You need to go and organize to get yourself the sketch. But it doesn't go up as tall. So it will fit into an A2 envelope or the size envelope for an A2 card without hanging out. And it almost looks a little bit square. And I don't mind it. I'm not really... I don't really make different shaped cards very often, and so this one's a bit unusual for me, but I thought I will just go with it and see how it works. If you are enjoying the video, it would be amazing if you could hit the like button. That is how YouTube knows to share it with more viewers. Now you'll notice here with these white matting layers, I do have a set of the Hero Arts nested circle dies. And I tried to pick out the one I thought would be perfect for the size circles that I had. But in hindsight, I should have gone one size up and had a bigger white border. And then it would have meant the top a bit looked a little bit more like the original design. So I like how these turned out. I think they're still cute cards, but it's a very narrow little white border around the pattern paper. It's enough to give it some good strength, but it probably should be bigger to match the design a little better. In terms of what to put on these ones, the happy birthdays, the cards are almost complete. And with these, I was just trying to work out in my stash what size sentiment would be perfect to add into the circle. And these warm wishes were excellent. Now, when I stamped these out bulk, I used a whole bunch of different colors. I've got some bright blue, some purple, some brown, some black, and then some of that kind of tan color. Most of them are black, but it was enough that I could grab the card and figure out which color is going to make the sentiment pop off the design and tie it all together. And so with these warm wishes in the bright blue, it matches beautifully with the pattern paper. This one here, when I attached it, I realized that for some reason it had a weird pen squiggle straight through the middle. So easily solved. I just grabbed another one of the blue, put it straight on top. And actually, I really like how that looks because it's a stacked look now. And it just gives it a little bit more presence on the card. Not enough for me to stack the rest, considering I had already stamped them. If I had the dies nearby, I would have possibly stamped some white blanks to go behind, but I was rushing a little bit with this project, so I just did it with what I had on hand. While I was working through this, I was thinking, gosh, these have a couple of pattern papers and a sentiment. Is there anything else that I could maybe add to these to add a little bit more interest? And I had a few things on my desk that were from previous projects or when I was doing a bit of tidying up, and I found this really gorgeous roll of butterfly stickers. They are from Kaisercraft and they do not have these anymore, but they had a series of different designs where you got so many butterflies that it was, this roll feels like it will never run out, and they're in really, really pretty colors. And so I just had a look at each design and thought, would it look good with a contrasting butterfly? Should I leave it how it is? And on a lot of them, I actually put 2 butterflies. Now, generally, you're supposed to do things in 3s and in 3rds, I think, but with some of them, it just looked like 1 butterfly on its own was probably not enough, and they were filling up so much space that 3 would have made things look crowded. So I just put them on a little bit of a tilted angle and decided to roll with it. Because of the colour options, they matched up better with some cards than others, and so you'll see here that some of them I decided not to include a butterfly. I have put another video here that I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.